All right. Well, welcome, and we're happy to have you here at our regular briefing. We have a couple of things to cover before we get into some of what we want to share with you in terms of what's happening with the city. We want to pause for a second and acknowledge that this is the 75th anniversary of D-Day, the world's largest amphibious assault, and a day when tens of thousands of soldiers made and paid the ultimate sacrifice for their country, for our freedom. And we certainly owe them a lot. Not only did they help liberate Nazi-occupied Europe, but fought for the things that we cherish the most, and that's our freedoms here in the United States. So it's a good time to reflect on the sacrifices of our military and the military's families, because I will continue to share the families also pay an incredible amount of sacrifice and price, and it's not just those that fought that pay that price. I had the honor and privilege yesterday of participating in a wreath-laying ceremony at Veterans Park, and it can be a very emotional time for those that have served and those that have lost loved ones. So we appreciate the reflecting on that. Want to share a little bit about a hackathon coming up. It's STEAM education, which is one of the pillars of focus for our library, and for those that are still unsure of STEAM, it's science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. And I was fortunate to have the majority of my children go through that kind of academic career. I have a daughter that works in education, and a son who's an aerospace engineer, and a son that's a geologist. All of those careers require an emphasis on STEAM education, and I think it's something that's really important. Our Wichita Public Library invites teens aged 14 to 18 to compete in a friendly competition this summer. The library's very first Teen Hack-A-Thon. It will be Saturday, July 27th and Sunday, July 28th. Teens will be given a topic about health and wellness problems that teens face, and will use technology and creativity to explore a solution. They can design an app, and develop technology innovation will be explored throughout the weekend. Registration is required, and it's now open. You can call 316-261-8500 or visit wichitalibrary.org. We'd love to see teens participate in this Teen Hack-A-Thon. And another simple reminder that Tuesday night, August 13th, is Neighborhood Night Out. If you want street barricades, they're going fast. If you want to reserve some park space, you need to do it now. First come, first served basis. So we've already had people signing up, and would just encourage you to register at wichita.gov/NNO or call 268-4165. And if you have any questions, Neighborhood Night Out is an annual event that promotes neighborhood safety and combats crime by encouraging neighbors to get to know neighbors. What a concept. Through picnics, cookouts, social gatherings, and it's done one night a year. We help sponsor that. We encourage neighborhoods to participate. Another simple reminder, our budget simulator that's been pretty popular so far closes on June 15th. So if you want to weigh in on what you think the city's budget should look like, or where our priorities should be placed in terms of financial obligations, this is your chance to use a budget simulator that's very simple to use. You can get on the web and walk through a very simple exercise and tell us what you think should be our priorities. And it's another way that we're just trying to reach out to the community in innovative ways to get feedback. So I want you to know that your choices are important to us, and we will be reviewing them when we finish that exercise. Again, just another way that we are trying to continually be transparent and a source of feedback from the community. So we'll be reviewing the budget as we work towards next year's budget that typically we adopt in early August. So again, June 15th is an important date to know. It's the last day of the budget simulator. Don't worry that we ended that on my birthday because we wanted the focus to be on a couple of other events. Now I want everyone to know June 15th is my birthday. It's not about me though. It's about the budget simulator. Obviously, we shared yesterday that the water levels are now down low enough that that the keeper can light its fire pots again. We've had obviously a few issues trying to get that done, but during inclement weather, we would have to go back to the policy of not lighting them. We hope we don't get too much rain today, but we're hoping that the citizens down there can enjoy the last few days of the River Fest and enjoy some of the amenities that we take great pride in, and the keeper happens to be one of those places in Wichita that's become quite the draw. We have families come in just to view the keeper. So they come in, enjoy Wichita, spend a weekend here, and that keeper seems to be one of their highlights and stops on their tour through Wichita. And so we want to encourage people to have a good time, enjoy all of the things in Wichita, but be safe and know that we're always concerned with debris in the river and high water flow, and we'll keep you abreast of any issues that might be ongoing in terms of the river and high flow water, and if it's safe to get in the water in the last few days of the River Fest. I know our Parks Department is still optimistic about some great opportunities to show off some activities that they're going to be programming for that river corridor this summer in terms of paddle boards and kayaks and a lot of neat activities. And so it's great to see our river being programmed for activities, and we hope that we can get back to that here very shortly. But the beauty is all of the stormwater projects that we've done over the decades paid dividends for the city of Wichita and kept their property safe, and we're fortunate to have invested in those. Even as difficult as it is in investing in those at the time, people are, like always the case, much more appreciative after the fact that the battle's been fought, and they forget about all of the difficult times getting there, but they appreciate the impact that it has on our community now, and I'll open it up for questions.
Good morning, Mayor. Yasmin Thomas with Innovation. I do have a question for you. Can you elaborate on the toll the city has taken because of the rain and the flooded river?
So we haven't done a full assessment on any financial damage that it's created in terms of a toll or impact financially, but there's no question that it created extra work for our city staff, because every time that we have a major rain event, our Public Works Department is out there during the entire rain event all night long if the case requires it, to make sure that debris is not building up around storm drains, so that we can eliminate flash flooding instances as they're happening. And so there's a price you pay for that. So, but we're obviously number one concern is keep the public safe. And so when we have a storm event happening, our crews are going to be out there making sure that debris doesn't float and block those storm drains. That's a cost. There's also a cleanup cost, and we know that. We have to go back through where the high waters come up above many of our walking paths and bike paths and clean them back off. There's a cost with that. And they've done a great job at trying to do that as we prepare for some of these activities in the core of the city. I was down at, as I mentioned, at Veterans Park last night that sits on the edge of the river, and there were quite a few people riding and walking and enjoying the bike paths, and the water just receded past the bike paths just in about the last 24, 48 hours. And they were amazingly clean of sand and debris. And so our crews are busy out there, but we don't have a summary of the financial impact yet, but certainly we know that it does create some extra work and does impact us financially, but it's something that we're going to do, and we're not restricted by our budget. Just would remind people the last 2 years in a row we've had a budget surplus. So we're in a little better position than we've been in many, many years. Well, thank you all. Appreciate you being here.